Most people will never step into leadership at this level, not because they don't care, but because they don't understand what it costs, the pressure, the criticism, the exposure. Today's conversation, I'll tell you, is not about politics. It's about what it actually takes to step up when it would be easier to just stay quiet. Because leadership sounds good until it gets personal. Today, I'm sitting down with Jenn Marie Strickling. She is a former union laborer, small business owner, and the one of my favorite things I'm seeing up is artist. We're going to learn more about that. But now she's running for state representative here in Washington. Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Taylor. Are you here for Leaders Lead the podcast? Let's go. Hey, how did you beat me? Look, let me tell you about this podcast. We got like 5 seconds. Leaders Lead the podcast is about leadership. Not just the leader without, but the leader within. All of these leaders that I'm talking to across the country, well, across the world now, they have one thing in common, and that's that they have overcome some insurmountable obstacles to get to where they're at today. Come on, let's go. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today, Jenn?
I'm good, Tony. Thanks for having me.
I'm thanks for coming on the show. Just like I was telling you before, I love your background. I love the flowers. I love the plants. I know this is going to be a good episode. I love plants and I love birds and stuff too.
Well, then we're gonna get along great. So yeah.
Right. I I
Yeah,
want to go ahead and get straight into it if you don't mind.
sure.
And my goal for this point is the decision point. Most people they don't just run for office. I'm curious, what made you decide that you were going to take that on?
Well, I would say the bigger question around running for office, let's see, this was not my goal. My goal was originally to get other people elected, and I was working extraordinarily
Oh,
hard on that, right? But then we found out about last year in 2025 that we needed 21 people to try to take seats all across Pierce County for a charter review position. So Mariana Hike, the chair of the Pierce County Dems, was recruiting very hard for this. Believe she herself ran for a commission position. Uh, it's really a challenging position for people to try to get elected to because they have to do a lot of explaining about what the position is. It's not a position that comes along very often. So I figured, okay, well, I'll throw my hat in the ring for a charter review position and, see if this is a good way to start, affecting change locally since it's not an easy thing to recruit for because people aren't very familiar with it. It's not like a regular position. And charter review is about the constitution of the local government, right? Essentially. So it's this like document that sets up the rest of the county's ordinances and this it gives the council guidance and it gives, it just kind of sets things up so the things can work for people. And yeah, so I started with that campaign and I had a pretty heavy like a very heavy primary. I had a bunch of people that I was running against, which surprised me. But it came out winning, and it's definitely been an experience. Let's just tell us. So let's just say that.
ooh, I'm
So
curious. What a like a good experience? Was it like because you went from being a normal person like me to then like running for a commissioner position? Was there like any of that political fighting stuff going on? I want the
oh, yeah, I mean, I mean, the 5th district was a lot spicier than I was expecting it to be. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I still think government should work for working people. I think we should be having conversations with people at doors. I think we should be involved in that process, and think we should solve problems for everyday people. And I think we lose sight of that when you get a bunch of like established, people. The lot further people get away from those initial runs, those initial when you're not an incumbent, when you're not an incumbent, I think you get a close personal view because you have to knock these doors in order to get elected. That's a big feat, right? So
Hmm.
the more door knocking you're doing, the more interfacing you're doing with the public, the closer you are to the people. And so I think as long as you can keep that in your head, no matter what position you're running for, is to, get close to the people that you're supposed to be representing through
Hmm.
conversation and interactions, the better you're going to represent them, right? When you get
Hmm.
into the position where you can do something. I didn't, I guess I didn't expect, there's a lot of things I'm learning about the legislating process, like it's a volunteer position, right? So we've been, meeting every Monday night. It's 6 months. We meet every single Monday night. And like these meetings they start at 6, but they end at like sometimes 12 o'clock. It feels like it's like 4 or 5 hours of just debating with like 21 people in the room. And you've got public comment and you've got experts coming in from government explaining
And
what
this
they
is every
do.
week.
This is every week for the next, yeah. So we end in June, but we started in January. So yeah, it's a lot. Like it's kind of, and it's interesting. You've got a lot of people that are very passionate about their positions and or like their ideals, and on all sides. Like, and I say all sides because you've got all kinds of different folks in there fighting for different things, and
Hmm.
like some of it's can be ridiculous. Like I think we spent 45 minutes one time on whether or not the public comments could be limited to 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So I'm like, we wasted 45 minutes on trying to figure out if 1 minute could be added or subtracted from public comment. And I was like, this is a little bit ridiculous, Like
Uh-huh.
yeah, like how many
It's like
people
the
could have talked?
bureaucracy on the bureaucracy, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah. I won't say what kind of meeting, which meeting it was, but it was like it was a Democratic something, something, something for the something, something, something. And I was there. They were trying to they were doing like a motion on something to do with the president. And it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. They were arguing over words like the and commas and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is the issue. This seems like this is the issue when it comes to local politics. And I remember just being so damn annoyed. And I'm just like, why aren't they talking about the real stuff, right?
Yes.
So I'm curious. I'm curious when it comes to the real stuff because, like, what you described is what you're doing right now. What
Hmm.
made you decide to run uh, for the position that you're running for? And if you can give me a little
Yeah.
background on you and the position that you're running for, because I would love for folks to know more about you. You know.
Absolutely. So I guess for that I'll have to rewind a few years. My husband Cameron Severance, he did a write-in campaign against the person that I'm running against today. So my family has been running against the person that I'm running against today for a long time. My family or my friends,
Chosen
right?
choice.
Yeah, we are tired of the local representation, so much so that yeah, we'll do what it takes. Like it's happening this year. Like I can tell you that. Like it is happening this year. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get as many people as we can together. We're gonna inform them of, like what kind of representation we have now and how much better it could be. So I think that's the goal. Yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. If you look at like how workers are being treated and in this new evolving economy, we have a lot to do. We've got a lot of work to do, and we right now we have representation in our government in the 25th that basically like they refuse to vote on banning microchips for workers, right? Like when you have tech that is coming in and doing all kinds of things and eroding the rights, the civil rights, the the workers' rights, and we've got real decisions that need to be made, and we need to address these things. Like some of those things are not negotiable. And you're talking about people that didn't like mask mandates, but they're willing to not ban a company from microchipping a worker. So I don't know. It's a very complex
Wait a minute.
issue.
Microchipping a worker, are you talking about like putting a real microchip like in their body?
In the skin? Yeah, yeah. Like
That's even a
they took a
conversation.
vote to refuse to ban that. It's wild. I mean, it is wild. So, yeah, we've got real, like, I don't know what the thinking behind that was. But I know that it's not an acceptable vote, right? Like, it's not. Most people would think that's a good idea to like stop the, from people from trying to do that. So, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
I
it
mean
don't even.
it's
Yeah.
extremist. Extremism. So yeah, so I don't know, like getting like the dirty money out of the local politics, I think is a huge thing. We've got real problems to solve, like real problems with our economy to solve. We've got real problems for people, like, we need to make sure that people can pay their rent or pay their mortgage. They can make sure they can feed their family and feed their kids. We've got inflation that's out of control, created by our lovely president.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of local stuff to clean up and work on, and I think that we can do those things on with local policies if we actually center things around working people. So yeah, I'm motivated because I'm just tired. I'm tired of watching bad policies, or the only answer being like no, coming out of this area. Like, we could actually influence things in Olympia. We could be part of the conversation. And right now we are just not even part of the conversation. Partially because their side doesn't have aren't in the majority, and that has been the argument that they've been using for years and years and years, that Olympia won't do this or won't do that, but they're not even trying to work with anybody at all, right? So it's just a big fat no for the 25th. So we can do better. We can do more stuff, and we don't have to be in 100% agreement with everybody in Olympia, but we could be, we could have more of a voice for our area and influence things in a positive manner if we put a little effort into it. And right now there's been zero effort to do that. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I mean, I'm motivated. I'm motivated to do things for veterans. I'm motivated to do things for working folks. I'm motivated to do things for retired people. Like, we have a lot of problems that people are facing, and they're just not being addressed. So yeah.
What would you say would be the biggest issue? Like if there's just like one issue that you're like, I'm going to solve this. This is going to be a part of my bill package as soon as I get to that freaking seat.
I mean, like, infrastructure brings jobs, right?
Mhm.
And it brings local jobs. If we had infrastructure that comes out of union labor, right? Like, we could be building things that better improve traffic. We could be building things that better improve people's paychecks. That could have an effect on our local economy, because those folks that are making a livable or a thriving wage, if you will, would go to our local businesses. Like, Bezos isn't coming to our local businesses to buy dinner, but
Mhm.
it's the folks working in construction that show up to take their family out to dinner, right? Like, in our local businesses. So I think it's really simple. Like, if people work here and they live here and they make money here, and it's good money, they influence business here. They make, they're the ones, they're the customers, right? So yeah, so we need to focus on local issues, local problems, and local paychecks, right? Like,
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up Bezos. We just had a controversial bill that now I'm hearing all these billionaires are talking about they're leaving, and everybody's like, oh my god, it's because of the millionaires tax. What do you think about that? Some people love it, some people hate it. Where are you at with that?
I mean, yeah, like, I think it's good when people have we have a regressive tax system that has put the large amount of stress onto the working class, right? Like, if we don't do something to evolve and change the way we're doing stuff, like, I don't think there needs to be big giant breaks for billionaires. I think that is a huge problem, and I think if the oligarchy is for it, then I'm definitely against it. So yeah, I mean, that's as simple as it gets. I think we have a much more nuanced conversation moving forward on that issue, though. I think that AI is becoming a real big problem for people, especially in like the service industries. So I think a really nice solution would be to, for every job that that is taken away from something like AI, right? Because you're going to have a whole lot of people running a whole lot of bots to do a whole lot of things, which means that
Hmm.
more people aren't working. That means more people aren't paying into their taxes. They're actually, legitimately harmed by those types of actions. And the people that are controlling the bots that will be making money are at a higher likelihood of hiding that money, right? So I think that we have a lot of problems to solve around taxing and how government is funded that are coming up as big tech continuously tries to disrupt things, right? So
Hmm.
we need people in the legislation that understand that, like that understand that we're facing new problems coming forward, and we need to have real solutions for that. And I don't, if you're going to replace jobs, right, with like computers or supercomputer or whatever AI,
Hmm.
then maybe you need to replace the income that would normally be taxed there. Like maybe that's the solution. I do not think
And because they're
that.
the ones that's bringing this new technology too.
Yes, yes, yes. And so should they get a giant tax break on top of eliminating the tax that comes from the working class on top of, yeah, it's like this compounding thing. Like how many breaks do you get, right? Like I don't
Hmm.
understand how that's helpful. And then, there's the whole vilifying of people from the far right where, they say, oh, these people need a job. It's like the economy is shifting and changing, and it is harder. Like the jobs that are gonna be left are, what's left? What can AI not do? It's not going to be doing a whole lot. It's going to be taking over a lot of customer service. It's going to be taking
Hmm.
over a lot of the sales industry. You already see it. It's, everybody's talking about upskilling,
Hmm.
but they're
Hmm.
upskilling themselves right out of a job, right? Like, so I don't
Hmm.
know. We've got real, AI is very convenient, right? It's very convenient as a grammar tool, right? Like you're going to
Hmm.
reformat your paragraph before you send it off. Sure, that's lovely. But do I think it belongs in the field of art, for instance? Absolutely not. Get that junk out of there. It's
Oh,
stealing. I don't even think it was okay for them to steal everybody's writing and redo. But that fight is long
yeah.
past.
What do you think about this? I'll never forget the moment where I was working at this automobile manufacturer. I was the safety director, and I'm walking around
Yeah.
with my little clipboard, and I look over, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And he goes, "Those are our robots." And I'm like, "Y'all have robots?" And then he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, look at this one robot." And I just see him just drill pressing, like just doing this stuff. It was just the most magnificent thing I've ever seen in my life until he told me, he goes, "Well, you see that one robot that replaced that replaced 12 jobs, my friend." And he goes, "Then there's another one, and there's another one, and there's another one." He goes, this floor used to be full with like 50 and almost 60 people that was doing what this robot has just done in 1 minute. These people were doing that like throughout their entire duration here for the day. And I started feeling bad about it. And he goes, your mood shifted a little bit. I was like, this just don't seem right. And he says, and I'll never forget this. He said, Tony, if let me tell you this, he goes, if you're worried about robots taking your job, he goes, this is the way that you make yourself bulletproof. And I want to know what you think about this because my
Mm.
thought process has changed a little bit. He said, in order to make yourself bulletproof from the robots, is you need to be the one that's actually teaching the robots because the robots always need a teacher, and that the teacher needs to be a human. And so I thought, oh man, that's a good point. Let me become the master of what I do, and let me open up AI as far as like a part of my business because business owners, folks like me, yeah, I need that AI because I can't afford to hire 12 people and all of that. So I'm in a sense I'm in this position where I'm teaching the robots. That works for me, but I don't I feel kind of gross about it a little bit, but even
Yeah.
more for the folks that I know for a fact that have lost jobs because robots and AI are taking that job. Is there a way to satisfy both?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that you could use AI in an ethical way, right? I think that if you already don't have 12 people working for you, it sounds like you didn't have 12 people working for you and then you fired 12 people, correct? Like you started out probably with these tools that already existed, or, started using these tools. Is that, am I correct if I'm asking that question?
Well, they had, it was like, yeah, they had that at the company. And as far as me, I didn't have the 12 people. I didn't have a whole bunch of people. It's always one of those things where I'm staying up until like 3 o'clock in the morning to do all of these different positions. And then when AI came out, I'm just like, ooh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
Here we
think,
go.
yeah, I think there's positives and negatives to technology, and technology advances things, and it does a lot of things. I think the part that I have a problem with is when you look at like just tech jobs right now. Like tech jobs have there's a massive unemployment where people that were once working in tech
Hmm.
now can't find a job, right? Like you have people that were making, they've literally upscaled themselves out of their industry, and now they're all replaced with bots, right? So I mean, it's like it's hard to say at what point do we need to be smart about what, there's so many conversations you could go with AI right now. On the automation front, I think it's good if it could be safe. Like if you can make jobs safe and you could have workers running these bots and doing it in a way that, is that training coming back to union labor though? Is that
Hmm.
training, or are we training, unionized folks to learn these skills, or are we bypassing them and then making sure that, different people, it's like there's a whole issue. Like, what jobs are we replacing? Are we replacing folks that were, a positive generator for real small businesses, right? In their
Hmm.
local areas? Because once again, whoever's controlling that bot, if they're not, feeding the local economy, then that whole entire, it has a ripple effect, right? Like the whole entire local economy is affected by that. So I think there are really important questions to consider, and I'm not saying that I have all the answers, because I do not. But I just foresee a future that could be very positive or very negative, depending on how we decide to make laws and legislation, right? Like I think that
Hmm.
when you think about the way AI is interacting with humans, on the psychological level, I think we have a lot of issues there as well, right?
Hmm.
Like we have people that a lot of their unconfirmed biasnesses are continuing to happen. You've got mental health stuff that's happening. You've got people that are, kids that are really growing up in a different, like, society than one that I remember as a child, right? So,
Hmm.
and I grew up through the tech boom, right? Like I mean, I don't even, well, when I was in college, we didn't even have cell phones. I still had like a whiteboard that we'd write everybody's numbers down, like, so I remember like my car breaking down on like 167 and like having to hitchhike to the gas station so I could call my dad to come get me. It's like a different, like,
Hmm.
technology exploded. I mean,
Hmm.
through my lifetime. And we a lot how many the people in the legislature right now, how many of them are my age? I'm young, like, in comparison to a lot of them, which I'm not young, but like, I just think that we have to have people that understand technology on some level, and like can perceive the threats to society as a whole, like at
Hmm.
least attempt to keep up with that, right? Like we should
I
be,
agree.
that should be a conversation we should be having and not ignoring, because we might have a great big fat donor check coming from the oligarchy, right? Like I think that's highly problematic, So at the same time, like this is complex for me, right? Like I'm gonna have a lot of, I come from, let's put it this way. My people are the building trades, right? Like we like to
Hmm.
build things. The people that have the big checks often sometimes are those folks, but like to build those buildings, like they're the ones that are wanting to build buildings or build data centers or build things. And so I think we have to have a really nuanced conversation about how labor exists in these spaces. And if there's one thing I will do in the legislature, it will make sure that labor is taken care of, because that is the most important. I think that is the best medicine for democracy is labor unions. So
Hmm. And
yeah.
you have, I read that you have a background in labor unions, and I was curious, what did being a union laborer teach you about people, probably that most leaders doing or embarking on what you're getting ready to embark on probably don't understand?
Well, what labor does, like, you're only as good. Okay, so it's so funny because I think we're only our labor union is only as good as our participation in it, right? Like, so if people have a problem with their union, I think that that's because they're not participating in their union, right? Like, it's the same thing. I mean, you could so scale that to the country. You're only as good as, as much as you're putting into your country, right? You could scale
Mhm.
that to any level. But organizing and working collectively to get something done is really the only answer when you're looking at like a hierarchical structure, right? Like, if you don't like something, your best bet is to find a whole bunch of people that also don't
Mhm.
like something and are willing to take a stand against that, right? Like, if you don't do it together, then it ain't getting done unless you have capital power, correct? So
Mhm.
it's a really important check on like, how that's how you affect change. You don't do it by yourself. Nobody does anything by yourself. That is a myth. I mean, even the people that, like, they inherited all this wealth, right? They have all this money and the money's making decisions, but they didn't do that. They didn't make all that money by themselves. Give me a break. Like that, we need to be we need to bust some of these myths down, right? Like, but you can say, okay, like, listen, if you're not going to pay me a living wage, well, I'm going to find, all the rest of these people who are also not getting paid a living wage. And we're going to say, look, good luck replacing 40, 50 of us. Have fun with that. That's going to be great for you. Your losses will be through the roof, right? Like,
Uh,
and like, now we want a living wage. Pay us a living wage. And that's it. It's basically that simple. Like, do not screw us as people. We deserve better and we know it and we understand our value and our power as working people. Like that. I mean, that's ultimately what I've learned from the union. And I
no,
mean all of them.
that's cool. I mean, because it sounds like a lot because you're actually dealing with people, not just the job, not just scaling businesses, but just the people, which are the most important thing. And I think a lot of people they forget about that. They forget about the human element when it comes to all of this stuff. And I'm curious, at what point you running for this new position, what point did it become real or has it became real yet, or are you in the oh my god I'm running stage, or have you came to that point where you're like, oh shit,
Oh,
what did I do?
okay. Yeah, no, I think it became real like long before. Like, I would say long before, because it's to me, right, running for office now just means that I'm the person on the podcast or in behind the mic. It used to be other people behind the mic or on the podcast or, at the door. I've always been at the doors because if I wasn't running for office, I was working on our school board campaigns. If I wasn't, my husband was running for office. He ran for state ledge last time as well against, the other Republican in the race. Um, yeah, I mean, it's been about, it's been, I guess it's the same conversations. We aren't doing enough for working people and we need to start doing more. And like, I don't think that I might say it a little bit more forcefully than others. I'm not as, what do you call it? Like, I'm very authentic, right? Like, I'm just going to give it to you straight and you may not like what you hear,
I love
depending on who
that.
you are.
I love
So,
that. I think that's way better than the googly gawk that we get, that
yeah,
we as citizens get. And I'll tell you, somebody, a parent, a father, a business owner, that live here in this state, this last legislative session, it royally pissed me off, and that was because of the communication with the leaders that are supposed to be the people that are supposed to be helping us. We're the constituents. And
yeah,
that's what I wanted. I wanted some real talk. Hey, Tony, this bill will get passed you know, if you do XYZ, stop wasting your time freaking calling me every day, emailing me every day. Go do this shit. And then I'll go and do it. But
yeah,
I didn't get that kind of communication. I didn't get the real talk.
yeah.
And
No,
I feel like that's what we need.
I think so too. I think that people are tired of, just prepackaged crap. Like,
Mhm.
we just want it straight and like, yeah, my husband, he's very good at like he's a calm messenger, right? Like, he's a calm deliverer of things. And when he ran, the inside household joke is like, well, you could have had the nice one. Now you have to deal with me. So it's kind of funny.
He's, but he's the
Um,
nice one.
yeah, he is. He's a sweetheart. But like, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm just, I do my best. Yeah, I don't know. I come from the construction trade, right? Like, so I'm gonna give it to you straight, and like the most effective way is the fastest point from A to B is to say it, in a straight line, and so that's probably what you're gonna get from me. But it is what it is. I don't know how else to change
Mm.
that. So
I'm
yeah.
curious. Usually this fire, and I love it. Oh my god, I love it. Usually this fire, it's like people are like born with it, or they come from an angle to where they've been almost like something happened, right?
Mhm.
This almost like the superhero thing, with Batman. He kind of got his superpowers because of something bad that happened to him. What would you say you've gotten your superpower from? Did something bad happen? And I say that in a very general term. Did something bad happen? But like, did something really piss you off, or did you come out of the womb like, boom, this is where I'm at?
Well, okay, so I'm a creative person, right? Like I'm an artist. I was drawing pictures and, painting things from like, I don't know, whenever they hand that to you when you're a kid, right? So,
Uh,
I think that creative folks, whether they're writers or whether they're painters, whether they're sculptors, however, whatever format they come in, they are witnesses, right? They witness the world and they record it, right? Like, so if you witness injustice and that speaks to you, I think that that spoke to me from a very young age. Like I felt when something was wrong that somebody should do something about that, right? Like, and so anytime I saw injustice in any way, shape, or form, like I was pretty compelled to say or do something about it. So maybe that was my parents. It's possible that they, my dad, he was an organizer with Liona, with the laborers.
oh,
He
shit.
was also worked in construction. So my mom is a very, very feisty redhead. She's wonderful. She's yeah she I can't say enough about my family. My upbringing was just absolutely amazing. Like they're still yeah, we would sit down at the dinner table at night and be like, "What's going on in the world? Let's debate it, right?" Like, and we'd have
Uh-huh.
these fun
Uh-huh.
conversations. And I think that when I first met my husband, I met his family, and I was like, "Oh, we belong together," because his family's the same way, So it's like, y- it's important to have conversations. It's important to discuss things. It's important to do the uncomfortable stuff, right? Like, and that's how you kind of you fine tune what the best opportunities for change and what the best opportunities for action are. They come through those conversations and challenging each other. I don't believe in like siloed messaging, right? And we are really forced into that,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
through social media. And I think that we should be challenging each other. I think we should be challenging each other and fine tuning our message and fine tuning our sense of justice by talking to lots of people and breaking through some of the processes that society is really like tried to box us in. So, I just
Mhm.
try to like if I disagree with somebody, I want to know what their thinking is. I'm not interested as much in changing their mind, but I want to understand, okay, how have you arrived there, right? Like I don't think I can change everybody's mind, but I think I can better understand them and maybe we can adjust things so that things might work better. I think that's part of being a responsible person in government, right? Like where can
Mhm.
we agree? Where can we find middle ground if that's possible? At the same time, fascism is completely unacceptable. So, like there there are things that are just a giant no for me, like we ain't doing that.
Let's
So,
go there.
yeah, so I okay, so have you seen these t-shirts? They're it's got like this bunny rabbit and it's got all these like random, I don't even know, like nunchucks or something, and it says, "I was born to diddly daddly, diddle daddy, diddle." I can't remember the saying though. But then at the bottom it says, "But instead I'm fighting fascism." I feel like that's where I'm at, right? Like I wish I'd be painting like flowers and like, doing whatever. But now I'm here like I'm running for office. Let's go. So I just yeah, I should get that t-shirt made for the campaign.
No, I
I'll
love
just
it. Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're like, I'm not supposed to be here, but you've been called to do this thing because it's not. Apparently, it's you see that it's not working,
It's not working.
and it's not working. And I love what you say about fascism, and I wasn't even thinking about talking about this, but this past week, where you have this threat not just to folks that are in Iran, but the president of the United States is like tweeting or on True Social, whatever, posting all of this stuff that everything I learned when I was in the Marine Corps, the things not to do, the things not to get you thrown in prison for the rest of your life. Stuff with the Geneva Conventions and all
Yeah.
of that. How do you engage in war? Was taught to me that these are war crimes, and we're seeing these as Americans. And I work with a lot of people abroad, and now being that person that is that's our image now, whether we agree with it or not. When we say America, it holds something completely different. So I'm
Yeah.
always on board with the fighting fascism cause. Is there a cause specifically that you're just like, this is it, this is the hill that
Yeah.
I'm dying on?
I mean, we have a problem we have a problem in this country right now with ICE, right? We've got people not using due process, grabbing folks, regular
Hmm.
working folks that are part of the fabric of our society, that have been here for 20, 30 years, being thrown into a unmarked van by a masked person, and hauled down to the Tacoma Detention Center, which is what, like 15 minutes from my house,
Mm.
with no due process, right? Like we have, because of the color of their skin. That is absolutely 100% fascism. That is like not an acceptable thing in this country. I don't and we have a sheriff that a Pierce County sheriff that
Hmm.
really tweets about that kind of stuff as it being a positive thing. So it's like there's a misunderstanding or a disconnect between somebody who should be caring about these things, like as somebody who works in law enforcement should be
Hmm.
caring about the job that he was hired to do, and instead he's promoting stuff like that, and I think that's a problem. And I don't even know if, yeah, I mean, I think that's wrong. Like, I don't think you're talking about people that are dues paying members in unions that are just being grabbed. It's amazing. Like, there's no more noble effort, I think, than people that work to fight for the rights of their fellow worker, and I think that when you've got people that is the most American value you can have, right? Like,
Hmm.
people fighting with other Americans to make things better in this country. And
And
we've
they all
got,
mean well.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
but like, how do we why, right? Like, why, like, why are these people being grabbed? I don't understand. I've heard a lot of rhetoric, and everybody feels like, oh yeah, there's, the rhetoric is, it's terrifying. I don't know, it's just there's things that are just not okay. And this is, if if you think somebody is a criminal, then you give them a trial, right? If you
Hmm.
think somebody's
Hmm.
done something wrong, why are you skipping that process? Like, that's the part that, like, doesn't make sense to me. People, this right to a speedy trial, basic things that are in the Constitution are being just obliterated, to appease a guy at the top who, is a rapist. Let's be honest. Like, he's done more harm to people and women than anybody else that I know of that's has a very large name that's alive
Hmm.
anyways. I mean, there's
Hmm.
one guy, but he's gone after being in jail and the cameras are off, right? So,
Hmm.
like, that's it. What are we doing, right? What are we doing? What are we telling the young girls in this country too, when you've got leadership like that? What are we doing? I don't know what's going on. And I can't control anything on the federal level. I can control things in my local environment, and I think that we can do more there. We can do more there to protect ourselves in this
Hmm.
state. And I think that, and that's where our minds and our actions need to be. I think that's where we need to be as people, as a collective people, that we need to stand together and figure out how we can work together, because the dividing of us and the segregating of us, right, and like our like on all these different little issues, right, like if we don't if we need to stop picking pet issues
Hmm.
and start
Hmm.
working collectively together in order to save all of us, right, like because the way this works out historically, when you're looking at countries that do the kinds of things that this country's trying to do right now, um, it doesn't work out for anybody in the end. It doesn't end well. So it's time to take action and work together to ensure that we all have a future here together. And so I don't know. That's where my
Yeah.
mind's at.
No,
So love.
I agree. I'm right there 100% with you on that, especially with the local issue that you brought up. I think I mentioned this before. I was totally like in where I'm like, okay, the whole thing with fascism, I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound like a reality. And initially I was like, and
Mhm.
people are throwing this word around like, wait a minute, pump the freaking brakes.
Yeah.
But that was my freaking ignorance, very much so my ignorance. I started doing some research on freaking, way back. And I'm not even going to say the dude's name, but we know who the dude is. But it looked a lot like what's happening here.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was the local government was a big part of that. And I started looking around and I'm just like, oh my God, like we have elected officials, sheriffs that are telling our government that he is not going to give up freaking power. And I'm just like, what the hell does this look like? This don't look like
Yeah.
this don't look very freaking democratic. This to me looks like fascism. Just to say that. And I was against that whole rule at first because I'm gonna tell you, I love the good sheriffs. I love the people that are for the people that are making mistakes and publicly saying, hey, you know what? I fucked up on this. Those are the people that I love. And I'm just like, why would they want to, make a rule or make a law that's going to take away power from them? And then I saw a speech and I was just like, okay, I get it. I saw it
Yeah.
specifically here. I think it was on TVW, and I'm like, I get it. I 100%. I get it. Get it. Get it. I was wrong, 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 and I publicly said that. And I had some friends in my inbox like, "What the hell are you doing?" But I'm like, "Nah, bro, no."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and like we're not all gonna agree, like, and that's fine, whatever. We can't like what what I noticed, like, the more I've had a lot of interactions with him, in particular, especially in charter. So
Mhm.
he showed up to one of our listening sessions, and
For the folks
um,
that's listening, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. For the folks that's listening to this, if you're not in uh, Washington State, Thurston County, I don't want you to be freaking sending me
Pierce County.
messages like who that? Well, Pierce County. I don't want you
Yeah.
to sending me messages. Who the hell are we talking about?
Sure.
But we're talking about the sheriff Swank in Pierce County. Look him up. Freaking go look at his Twitter. You'll see exactly the stuff that we're talking about. So just to give them that preface. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I when he showed up to our charter review commission, he sounds exactly like Trump, like the way he weaves in and out of topics. Um, but I mean, I asked him because there was this is like I think an ongoing situation or a case that there was a sheriff that was drinking and driving and he hit a family of four,
Mm,
and he was allowed to leave. The Swank allowed him to leave the scene of the crime. I believe it was Washington State Patrol that intervened at the hospital and said this guy was
really?
drinking. Yeah, yeah. So it was like like this is all in the paper, so you can read about it in the News Tribune, the Tacoma News Tribune. So like he showed up to our listening session, and it's like I think that there's a problem when law enforcement doesn't follow its own laws, right? Like, and
Hmm.
that they are um, but so I asked him about this in our listening session since he showed up, and he kind of freaked out. Like he freaked out and he was like, "That's about so and so," and like he would lose his job if he got caught with a DUI, and I was thinking to
What about
myself,
you? What about me?
I know. That's what I asked him. I go. So you don't think that like people that have drive with a CDL license wouldn't lose their job, right? Like if they like that's the reality of what happens when crimes are committed. When people commit crimes, they often lose their privilege to a job, right? Like those are common things that regular folks experience, but he didn't, and this current, I believe that he was put on leave for like early retirement because of this incident or this issue, so he's collecting
Mm-hmm.
a pension, getting paid. There are real consequences apparently for some folks. I don't, I asked him again, like we were at the charter commission meeting, this one was public, and I was like, do you think it's okay for law enforcement to have, or do they have different laws than, are they facing different laws than regular citizens? And in the weave Trump weave answer that he gave, he said, yeah, officers do have different laws, or different, and I was just like, am I the only one that just heard that? Like, I hope, I'm like, I hope other people heard that, like,
That's
because
bullshit.
exactly. I was just like, I can't imagine, like, this is not a person that's responsible to the people that they're supposed to be serving and protecting the people, and instead they're looking for ways to get their buddies out of trouble, right? Like, it's not acceptable.
That
Like,
don't even sound right.
it doesn't
That
sound right at all.
that's
Yeah.
that's that's craziness. Because, like, I'll tell you, um, you know, me being a Marine, I mean, it would give me like no much bigger pride than getting rid of the scumbag Marines that we had. So if there were people that were freaking abusing their partner, if there were people that were stealing, if there were people that were hurting kids or hurting or doing things that's going to hurt people inside of our community and
Yeah.
also give us a bad reputation and a bad look, by all means, freaking get them out of there and lock them the hell up so that they don't do it. Because that's like the whole freaking, I don't know, law and order thing, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that when when the damage that he is doing to police officers that are good police officers, it's that's actually a really important thing that we should be
Mm-hmm.
we should be talking about, because he's made that job a lot more dangerous for them, because people like the community trust is not where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like he spends all of his time online eroding that, and that's not good. That's not good for us. Like, that's not good for us as a society. And like, I think there are a lot of good cops. I really do. I think that
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of good police officers, and I just wish he wasn't doing such a terrible job, making it difficult for those folks that are just trying to show up and do their job and work. And I know that it's a hard job. Like, nobody's
Mm-hmm.
questioning that that is a challenging thing to do. And we're asking a lot of those folks to do that, but when you've got somebody that makes it harder because they can't keep their mouth shut, and also don't generally care, or like has very like a lack of understanding of what their actions are and how they affect, the the people that work beneath them, the people that work with
Mm-hmm.
them, it's dangerous, right? Like, he's a dangerous person, and like, I
Mm.
don't know how else to say that. Like, I
You're
want
actually
it.
willing to say it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that he doesn't love me, but that's okay. Like, I'm not here to be loved. So, I'm just trying to do, I just want to do what's right. Like, that's, ultimately where I'm at. I'm like, is it ethical? Is it reasonable? And does it work for working people? Like, I think that's where my decision making process is at right now. I personally, like, I know there are good cops because I've met them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's one of them, So, and there hasn't been any action that has made me think any differently. I do think that he's got a following of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think all of those people are bad people. I think that they are misguided folks. Like, I think that they're they have a lot to learn, and
Mm.
that's okay. We're all evolving at different rates. So I'll help them learn if they want to talk to me about it. I'm open to that. So,
I love that. 'Cause I'll tell you, I'm glad that we touched on this because I've been, I don't know, watching it and just like, what, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this happening? And I'm glad that it's not one of those things that's like in the vacuum to where I'm just like, man, am I going crazy? It looks like other people are seeing it too. I'm curious, with you being vocal about this stuff, I'm curious, where do you get that courage from? Because not a lot of people have it, and you're the
Um,
type of person that I want to vote for.
I mean, I don't I what are our options, right? Like we say something or we don't say something. If we don't say something, then what are we doing, right? Like like I don't know where I get it from. I think it's probably like where I'm stupid or something. I like the part of my brain that's like, let's, I like I guess I'm not thinking about consequences probably. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. Courage is something that, yeah, I mean, I'd rather die with it than not have it, I guess, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ultimately. Yeah, like
Yeah. Leave it all on the table.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens, So, yeah, I mean, I'm just me, So, like, I'm one person. I'm hoping that I can do something with that. If I can't do something with that, then we'll find out. But until somebody actually stops me, I'm gonna try. So, and I'm not afraid of much. Let's figure out how we can. We'll just see. We'll see what we can get done, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
that's ultimately it. I don't like to be told I can't do something, so we'll find out. Like, it's highly motivating when people
Oh
tell
my
me I can't
god.
do something. So,
Who are you
yeah.
running against?
My opponent is Cindy Jacobson.
Cindy Jacobson. Cindy Jacobs. Name sounds familiar. What
Yeah,
do you?
she's more extreme than Matt Marshall on labor issues, which is really interesting. So,
What do you mean by that?
she has like a zero record of voting with labor. So, like, she's an interesting character. At least Matt Marshall, I think, voted for, and he's in the second district, by the way. He's like one of the, what is it, like the 3%ers? I can't remember. Some Proud Boy something. So,
Some cowboy something.
yeah, something.
Say
I don't
no
know.
more.
The folks in the second will tell you all about it. Let's just put it that way. But I was surprised to see that she had a more extreme voting record this past legislative session than he did. I think that he even thought mental health bill for people in the apprenticeship program was a good idea, so he voted with that. But everything else was just very, like, all of her votes were against labor this year. So,
Hmm.
um,
So
yeah.
it sounds like you got a good chance.
The biggest partners and the most hope we have in the 25th is with labor. Labor is like the heart and soul behind our campaigns. So, I believe we have a good chance. I think we can do something with that. I think people are ready for a change. You can see it in the streets at
Hmm.
these No Kings protests. You can see it in all of the civic engagement across the county. We've got a really good shot. I think that it's when regular people, there's a spark, when regular people stand up and do something, more
Hmm.
regular people stand up and do something with you. Like, if we do these things together, and we do them, the more we do them, the more people that see that they can. I think that's how we affect change, right? Like, that's how we get into this. We start going hard, and we go hard together, and I think that we can do that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it's
start
a
going
lot of
hard, we go hard together.
yeah, it's a coalition of folks that are ready to do something and see something different.
Yeah. Has this race cost you anything personally?
Um, like, as far as, elaborate a little bit more on that
Like,
question.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking this question is for a multitude of different reasons. I want somebody that to be able to look at this, somebody, normal people just like you and I, that are
Yeah.
like, man, I can't fucking take this no more. I'm gonna run for this, and I have no choice. But I'm afraid of, maybe this happening, smear campaigns, or losing something personally. And so that's why I was curious. I always ask candidates, personally, what has this cost them? And for me personally, I'm just like, I'd love to hear the things that, politicians gained, like in a good way, and the things that they lost.
Well, okay. So I will say this. Have you seen this? There's a show about the Kennedys, the Caroline, the young Kennedy Jr. that I was been watching it on FX. It was
Is
very
it is it
fascinating, but
is it good? I was thinking
it's
about watching
really,
it the other
it's
day.
very good. Yeah, surprisingly good. But there's a part in there where Jackie O is talking to her son, right? And I can't remember exactly. I won't, don't quote me on the perfect quote, but she's like,
Yeah.
you'll always have a stone in one hand and a rose in another from the public, right? So it's like, I thought
Mm,
that was really fascinating because I do think that, like people seeking public office are always facing that. They're always facing like, love or hate or a combination of both. And yeah, I think that like undeniably anybody in public office is doing something challenging, right? Like there's a cost to, there's a cost to being public. There's a cost to being somebody whose face and name is out there. But I think that we started that process in our household a few years ago. So I think it's kind of become a more new normal, I think, for us as a family.
mhm,
And I think that having that time to adjust probably because we've been active and, the local political scene has been helpful. Because that adjustment has already happened for us. Like we know what to expect. We know that people will, the powers that be may or may not be happy locally. So
have you had that kind of pushback?
I'm beyond like trolling online. Yeah, there's been some trolling online, but like whatever, like bring it. Like I'm good with it. Like, I I don't think that like I'm willing to engage with people and talk about stuff and get down to it. I think that a lot of that and I've done it in the past. I don't know if people really like arguing with me. I found that they maybe don't like my responses. So yeah, ultimately
What does that look like? I'm curious.
well, I'm very blunt, and like I like to live in the world of facts and reality and like worst case scenario, we might organize a protest on something. Who knows? Like things things make the uncomfortable or make the comfortable uncomfortable and make the comfortable or the uncomfortable comfortable, right? Like so
Yeah.
I think that that's we've had a lot of very cozy politicians in this area that are not doing the right things for the folks that live here and are working here and trying to make a living and just live the American dream, and it's being challenged by people that just aren't doing right by them. And I think that as long as they're comfortable, and they have been, they will continue to do what serves them instead of what serves the people that they're supposed to be representing. So
Mhm.
we've made a conservative effort. I mean, I'm the chair of the local Democratic Party out here, so we've been organizing for the folks that aren't as comfortable, right? The people that
Mhm.
deserve a seat at the table. So trying to get like my whole campaign it's about people, power, and paycheck. So, because working families should be the center of every decision being made in Olympia. Power, because community should be community deserves a real seat at the table when these decisions are being made. So, in transportation, infrastructure, housing, and economic policy, I think all of those things should be incorporated in that. And paychecks, because our community deserves a real seat when we're talking about local jobs, apprenticeships,
Mhm.
pathways, fair wages, and how we build and protect the middle class. So I think that those are the core things that I'm trying to focus and work on. But at the same time, we're going to have people that aren't going to love some of the things because they've had it very comfortable. They've been very, very cozy. So
Mhm.
um, how do we how do we make it so that everybody can have a little comfort? I think that that would be nice, right? Like I think we can do that stuff. So
What do you mean? What do you mean everybody? Shouldn't everybody just pull themselves up by their own bootstraps? Why do we need to have something systematically set up for that? Everybody has
well,
an equal,
I don't think the
equal
people
chance here
that
in
I don't
America.
think the people that are comfortable pulled themselves up from their own bootstraps. I think that they, you know, That's funny, so
I was being facetious,
I
right?
know you were.
All
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm curious, was there a moment like where you thought about like not continuing on this journey? Like a moment that made you almost stop?
I'm a committer, so no, because like remember when I told you earlier that like if somebody tells me I can't do something, then I'm gonna prove them that I can. Yeah, I think there's probably more of that moment. Somebody was like, "Oh, the 25th is a lost cause." It's like, "Well, I'll show you. The 25th is a lost cause. We'll find out." Like, that ain't gonna. Yeah, no. So tell me no, and I will find a way to prove that we can. Like, it just is a matter of it's a time. Like, so my dad, big football guy, right? So,
Uh-huh.
what was it? Like, you never lose a game. It's a Vince Lombardi thing. It's like you never lose a game, you just run out of time, right? On the
Hmm.
clock.
Hmm.
So I kind of just like take every election season out here that way. It's like, okay, if we didn't win that race, but we just ran out of time on that election. So we'll get it the next time. No worries. We're not stopping. So it's all about just keep bringing the pressure. Like, this isn't about like, and like even my race, right? My race isn't about me, it's about all of us, right? Like, it's about all the folks that ran before that. Like, it's about Shelley Willis, who ran this last campaign, who is my amazing friend. She's phenomenal. Like, we're the things that would have gotten done if she would have been there instead are it's shocking how much more things could have gotten done if she would have been there. So we're really missing we're missing out. Like, we're missing out because we don't have representation that really cares about this community. And I think that um when we do, it's going to be a good thing. So yeah.
Wow, you seem like a fighter.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now I know I can't troll you online because so, no, I what I'm getting from this, because I always like to kind of check in, and with the listeners and the people that are viewing this, and the person I'm talking to, but like what I'm getting from this episode, and I want y'all to like maybe send me an email, send me a DM if you're getting this too, but like you have to fight for what you want. You have to be willing to fight for people despite what they say about you, despite the personal objectives that you're going to have to go through. Because if you want change, it's going to be hard, and you got to have the spirit of not giving up. And this kind of goes with, and I like, because the questions I'm asking you, they're like emotional.
Sure.
I've been, kind of like in this last legislative season, I've had to grow a little bit. There was this bill that I really cared about, the Pandas bill. It was 21, I think it was, yeah, 2195. Y'all don't come at me hard if I messed up the numbers. That's like a disability that I have. So don't come at me hard, y'all. But uh, this bill, I mean, it would have supported, and it would have given children, like mine, the opportunity to have like IVIG medicine that could save so many kids' lives. There's so many kids that are dying right now in this very moment, but we got ignored. And I was so mad that they wouldn't give us a chance to tell them that this medicine is not only real, but this freaking illness is real. And the people that are legislative leaders listen to were the very same people that are doing harm to our children. And I was trying so desperately to get that through to them. Like, listen, this is this case. This is this case. They've been sued. They're hurting us. They've hurt my family. They've hurt thousands of families, but they would not listen to us. And so I got mad. And I'm like, my idea was, organizing was tagging them, emailing them, calling them. They freaking ignored us. And I had a new friend, she said, well, I see you trolling them. And, and I see this, but Tony, you need to organize. You need to get in the room, and you need to like almost like be a politician in order to make this change. What you're doing is not working. And I love what we're talking about here, because it does not seem like you're stopping. You're not going from the person, the neighbor that's pissed off and doing this. You're not asking for a seat at the table. It sounds like you're demanding a seat at the table so that you can make change. Did I get that?
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, we're taking it. Like, and if we don't take it this year, we're taking it the next time. Like, it's not, it's, I don't think you can be in politics for a season. I think you need to be in politics forever, right? Like, I think you need to fight for the things that you believe in. If you don't stand up for it long term, then what are you standing for? Like, if it doesn't hold all the time, right? Like, because a lot of these are values based decisions. You're worried. I'm not super familiar with the bill you're talking about, but you're talking about children that need something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that is a value statement, right? Like there are kids that are being harmed or hurt because they don't have what they need. Like that means that you're standing with, the with children that have a need that there's heart behind that, right? Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there's a value statement behind that, and it's not something that should be a put aside for a season. There's another legislative session, right? Like there
Mm-hmm.
there you learn, like when you start fighting for something that you care about, you learn different ways to achieve that goal. Like it's through
Mm-hmm.
a process, right? Like you just make adjustments. I personally am a much bigger fan of a micro adjustment than a macro adjustment, if that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Like
Okay.
yeah, I think that like if you've got you just kind of you step back from what you're looking at, it's like what did work and what didn't work, right? Where did I go wrong, and how can I, how can I fail forward on this issue, right? Like you can look at data, you can look at who do you have inside the room, who's fighting for you, who's having conversations with folks about these issues. It sounds like you have at least one person who is giving you advice, saying, on how to organize, on how to do that. So I would
Mm-hmm.
start with that person's perspective and then figure out how to who's going to move who, right? Like who you have to like power map your existing structure, figure out how to be in the spaces that you can't be in with somebody who is a good mouthpiece for your issue or for your goal, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts first with education. It's like what did what did the suffragettes, it was like agitate, educate, organize or something. I think it's
Uh-huh.
like a
Uh-huh.
whole there's a whole lesson plan for it, right? Like we know what to do. We just need to do it, and we just need to keep doing it, right? Like things are not one power is never just handed over. People don't hand it over. Like it is always
Yeah.
taken, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so we have to fight for things. Like that's the foundation of the truth about America, Like
Yeah. That
it's
makes that
there's
makes a lot of sense.
yeah, there's a lot of push and pull, right? Like there's a lot of push and pull. And even when you win something, then you have to turn around and defend it, right? Like so
Yeah.
it's complicated. But
Yeah.
it's not
I
easy.
I did not know. I mean, it was just like, it passed the House, the bill passed the House 83-13. And I mean, bipartisan support. One of the, people that were supporting it were Republicans that I'm just like, there's no way that this person would support it. But then it went to the Senate, and the person in charge of the committee wouldn't even like let it go for a vote and wouldn't talk to us, wouldn't do this. Like, and I'm just like, oh my God. But it sounds like, listening to what you're saying, and anybody else that's listening to this, it sounds like that what I'm getting from you is to organize,
Yeah,
to to start a movement, start being, instead of the pissed off parent. A lesson that I've learned: instead of being the pissed off parent, be the strategist, somebody that has the goal and that's going to get there, and not, and if you lose, okay, it's not losing, but it's just the clock has ran out, right?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's about, and then you shouldn't really like, we don't have to look at what we've done so far as being a failure. I think that's what did you gain? Like what have you gained? What knowledge have you gained? What have you learned about the system? What have you learned about how people respond to your arguments? How do you learn about what have you messaged? Are you coming off as the angry parent, or are you coming off as somebody who is knowledgeable about what they're talking about. Like, I think that that's
Mm.
a way, and I don't think it has to, you have a right to your anger, right? If you're a parent, should should that be an acceptable response? That might be a totally acceptable response depending on what the issue is, right? Like, so, but at the same time, like, you could couple that with, like, say, a doctor that would have intimate knowledge about that, like, who could be the expert on the disease, right? Like, so you can
We have
partner
three
with.
of them.
See, there you go. Like, you can partner with folks that can provide. Okay, anger is my go-to emotion personally. Whether that's good or not, I don't know, but it's definitely fuel for the fire, right? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you have to figure out, like, and like, politics is about seasons, right? Like, we had a rough budget season, right? Like, because of
Hmm.
external forces. I think a lot of things got sacrificed that shouldn't have been sacrificed in the budget. But I think that's my point. I think we can do more. I think we can do better for people. I don't think it had to be just the millionaire's tax. Even though I think the million tax is a huge win.
Hmm.
I think that we could have also done some other things as well. I don't think it had to be just one thing, right? Like, I think that
Hmm.
we can fight for lots of things. And now, whether or not I'm right on that is, we'll find out. If when I make it in there, we'll find out. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I love that. If someone is listening to this and they feel called, kind of like how you felt that call and you're feeling it right now, what do you think that they should do first? Like, I mean, like, give me like the first three steps, or some things that they can do, mistakes that they should avoid. Like, what can they do this week?
well, you can't do anything alone. So, the first thing that you need to do is figure out what structures exist in your local area. So, who is doing organizing right now? Like, who is aligned with the organizing that you're doing, right? Like,
Hmm.
how can you expand that, or even build bridges with other people that are organizing that have aligned values? um, and really figure out how to work together to get some things done, right? Like, that's ultimately it. Like, how do you be a uniter of people? Don't be a divider of people, right? Like,
Hmm.
because the more people that you can bring to the table and the more work that you can do collectively, the better you're going to be in the end when you go to make your ask, whatever that ask is, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah, like, I think that, um, you know the other option is to buy your solution, but I don't think we all have the money to do that. So,
And that's happening. That's happening.
yeah,
I've
that's what we need to
noticed
be
that is
fighting against.
happening, and I think that is such bullshit. That is 100% happening, and I just don't freaking get it. I see it
Yeah.
with insurance companies. I see it with medical. I see it. Oh my god, it's such a rotten freaking thing, that's getting in the way of healthcare. That's getting in the way of the things that you're fighting for with the unions and that. How are we doing on time? Because I got some questions my DMs from my DMs for you. Are you good on time still?
Yeah, let's go. I think
Okay.
I can make that work. Let me just
Okay.
see if I might need to charge my computer. So,
I just got a couple on it. I want to make sure I get them. Um, let's see. Let's see. All right, and this kind of be like a rapid fire.
okay.
Uh, Nika C on Facebook said, because I did a post. I said I'm interviewing Jenn Marie Strickling Severance, candidate for state rep for 25th district. What should I ask her? Nika C said, "What does she think of self dealing in grants, contracting, and daycare fraud and overpayments? Like, what do you think about that subject?"
Or are they talking about, like, this Somali stuff somewhere else? And
I don't know. It just self dealing and grant contracting and daycare fraud. Yeah, so I would imagine, and overpayments. Like, what do you think about that subject?
um Yeah, I mean, I if it's what I think, yeah, I mean, I don't think, okay, those as standalone issues are definitely not great, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about, looking, yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah, it's a loaded question, right? Like, I think fraud is bad when it's proven, and if it's proven, then it's bad. Like, I don't think we need to be doing things that suck. But at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, like, if yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on everything, but yeah, I think that we can do. I also think that there's some things that are taken down because of political reasons at the same time. So I think that we need to be really
Mm-hmm.
cautious about um, how we approach things and information, and also how it travels on the internet. So there's there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of I wish we had more of the muckrakers that we used to have back in the day, and that our press was available to all people, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
we've got paywalls, and we've got things that are making information more challenging to travel, and the information that we get, we also constantly have to question. So yeah, I guess
100%.
if it was about something that was happening in the 25th, I could probably give you a more succinct answer. But yeah, so
Yeah, and that's why I love independent media and independent journalists because
yes.
I don't me personally freaking at first I didn't tell too many people where I got my news from because it wasn't I don't get my news from ABC. I don't get my news from CNN no more. Definitely don't get my damn news from Fox. But I get my news from Aaron Parnas. I
Okay.
get my news from the Midas Touch. I get my news. I mean, there's a couple good sources that I have to where it would even, I forgot the name of the app. I think it's called Ground, but it would even tell you if it's biased and where it's coming from, what percentage of bias does it have. And one thing that I noticed with the whole daycare situation was to me, it was like, there's some fraud in all communities, right? There's some kind of fraud. There's some kind, not, maybe that's a blanket statement in trying to disprove blanket statements. But I think what happened in that case with the Somalians was like, oh, now all Somalians are fraud. And that's pretty
Yeah,
dangerous, especially
it's
for a brother
very
like me walking down
dangerous.
the street. Freaking, you can't tell no difference who I am or what I am, but it's just so damn dangerous because
It's
not all of them are doing that.
No, they aren't. And it's absolutely insane to think that, to attach anything to a race, creed, or religion, right? Like we need to be really, or gender for that matter, like we need to really be cautious about how we use describers. If you're putting a describer in front of a crime, it's like, you once again, we have a president who's a rapist and doged most people's jobs, right? Like, so I
Like
think,
literally adjudicated rapist, literally, and
yeah,
nobody
and
can argue
and
that.
had
Literally.
a billionaire, person in that went through and stuck computers into all of our systems and did keyword searches and eliminated people's jobs and went after our national forest. I mean, we've dealt with more much larger crimes against working folks than
Hmm.
this one isolated situation, right? Like, I think that we need to really be cautious about how we treat information and how we assign it to folks because of
Hmm.
their nationality, gender, religion, right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, we just really, yeah, I think that's, yeah, a whole thing,
No,
just a
I
whole thing.
I agree, and for the folks that are listening to this, if you look at, I think it was like several episodes ago, I interviewed Tim Draper. He is a billionaire, crypto billionaire. He is one of this is a few months ago. He's one of Elon's friends,
Mm,
and which I had no idea at the time. He actually, he's the reason why we had Skype. If it wasn't for this dude, we wouldn't even be on here. He's done some really cool things. He's donated millions of dollars to Tesla, but he has his own academy. But when the whole Doge thing first kicked off, he said that he applauded the job that Elon was doing and said that we needed to have an overhaul. And that was the first time that I ever was like, oh my God, because getting text messages from my friend that was friends that are in DOD. They're getting fought. They're getting let go. They're, all of this stuff is happening to them, and I'm seeing it on my level, and I'm like, oh my god, these billionaires are so far removed from what we have to do in our every single day and to live. Why the fuck do we care so much about them when they care so little about us?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that is absolutely the truth. And like we we can do better. And and we can be better. Like I think we don't have to we just have to reject that. But they own the airwaves, right? Like they own a
Mm-hmm,
lot of things, right? And they're not stopping from, buying more. Like they want to buy influence, and they can micro target all of us, right?
mm-hmm.
They're listening to us through our phones. I don't know, like it's hard. Like it's a hard thing to fight and be honest and be real. And I'm willing to fight for people. Like I think it's insane that we should be letting, the most out of touch people be involved in the policies that are happening everywhere. I think
Absolutely.
yeah, that's highly problematic. And I think America stands for more than that. So, like that's we can do better. So I'm just gonna try. Like
Oh man, I love that. I love where we're going with this. Carrie Saraya, Kari Saraya, I hope I got the name right. She wants to know if you received any donations from APAC.
absolutely not.
All right, I love it. What is your stance? Corey Wallace wants to know your stance on comprehensive state-based universal health care. I wrote back and I said, I'm curious, do you like the plan? Is there something specific you want to know? And yeah,
Are like whole Washington. We're
yeah,
talking about whole Washington.
wholewashington.org. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we need solutions, right? Like people are not getting what they need. People need healthcare, and I think that's a basic right. I think that we should be fighting for that. I think we should be fighting for folks to receive healthcare. Period. I don't think that's non-negotiable for me. Like I think that um it cancer, all these things, right? Like they have a lot of causes and a lot of sources, and like everybody can be hit by them at any point. They can wipe out whole entire ability to earn income, and the whole entire, you know s- what do you call it, the financial protection that people have put in place. They can change um basically like the status of a person depending on what kind of illness they get. And I think that that's we don't have a system right now that takes care of people or prevents that. And it can be a huge we have a we have a healthcare system built up and propped up on profit, and it's
Mhm.
not built on what it needs to be built on. So yeah, I think we can first of all take care of the folks giving the care through union labor. Second of all, taking care of the folks receiving the care, and I've seen, I just was at an SEIU protest over here in Puyallup the other day. One of the main things is that they wanted to make sure patients were taken care of. So I think that these
Mm.
are, you know, they're fighting for better hours, better staffing, things like, things that matter for them, and a better paycheck so that they can give the best potential care to patients. So I think that we can achieve more than if we try, right? Like we can achieve more if we try. So I think we just need to try. And I think that whole Washington is a good thing for folks. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Tara Simmons, she is a state rep. She said, I think this is a friend of my friend, Chance Corey. And then she tagged him. Chance, Chance?
I do. He's wonderful.
Okay, cool. He says, she is. I would ask her about her work on the Pierce County Charter Review Commission. And I think we covered that.
We did. But I will add that, so, we worked on trying to make sure that labor had a huge voice in the Pierce County Charter. And actually, the county exec came and spoke at our last meeting, and he talked about doing an executive order for project workforce agreements. So we accomplished our goal, and that the county is going to take project workforce agreements a lot more serious and community workforce agreements a lot more serious. So I'm really excited about that. That's a win before we even finish our whole entire commission. The other thing that beyond the sheriff, right, which is all this other work that we wanted to get to. So
Mhm.
I'm working on organizing an amendment right now that helps folks in mobile home parks, right? We've got the most
Mm.
parks in the 25th LD. And we just want protections for folks that are experiencing both gentrification and then developers that buy up these properties and kick folks out, and or even like companies like Hearst and Sons, who show up and they buy up these aging mobile home parks, and then they start jacking the prices way up, right, for all these people, and then they don't actually fix any of the broken down systems that are in place. And now these people are people that own their mobile homes, right? Like they own
Mhm.
the actual place that they live in, but they don't own the land. So they get charged fees that don't make any sense based off of utility hikes, all these different fees that go up based off of often sometimes racist policies, against the Hispanic community. They don't provide things in languages that they understand. It's a highly targeted um, profit industry that
Mm.
yeah. So working on protections for mobile home parks, that's another issue that we're facing at the 25th. I'm trying to think of another. I think I submitted an amendment for a conflict of interest so that people that were associated with certain people in the government or in the county government would disclose that they are
Mm.
associated with that, with an individual, and then recuse their vote, right? So that they would not be voting on things that could directly affect or impact them in government. So those are the things that I've worked on the Pierce County Commission. So, and we've got one more week to put amendments in. So from the public as well. So if you all have a great idea in Pierce County, you've got till the 13th, I believe, to get that in. So, or not the
Um,
13th, the 18th, the 18th. No, I think it's the 13th. I don't know. I get numbers confused just like you do, Tony. So
yeah.
I like
My
titles
numbers are
better.
like, woo. Sometimes I ask my wife, how old am I?
Yes.
Oh, and I don't know if that's the disability I have or if it's my old age creeping in at this point. But I so I'm I'm really grateful to you for having this conversation. My last question is what kind of, and if you can talk to the people, something you can say to folks that are listening to this and they're on the fence about voting for you, maybe, what kind of leader are you? What kind of leader do you refuse to become? Just maybe some final words, and then we'll take it out from there.
Yeah. My final words. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of leader that is going to be responsive to the public and try to do the best for working class people. And I'm just trying to do the right thing, the good thing, and make sure that we're just taking care of folks. So I think that I yeah. What was the other question exactly again, Tony?
Yeah, I was thinking like what kind of leader do you feel like you are, and the type of leader that you refuse to become? Because I think we all know when people get into these positions, they say one thing and then they sometimes they do another.
Yes, I think that yeah, I'm not going to be beholden to the oligarchy. Let's just put it that way. That's what I'm not going to be. And then what I want to do is good. Like that is my goal, and good for people that don't have a voice, right? Like I think we need to
Mm.
do and we need to make government accessible. Like I think there's a lot more work we can do locally on that level and on that front, so people understand how they can use their power, how they can assert their power, and how they can affect change. So, yeah, I think
Uh,
does that work?
no, it does more than work. I know. I'm a fan of you now, and I love getting to know you. I think this has been wonderful. I got a personal question for myself.
Sure.
Uh, the delegate process. Are you a delegate and have you been one?
I am a delegate and I have been one.
Is it pointless? Am I wasting my time? Be honest with me.
No, no, I think it's really like just like union organizing, right? You're only as good as your participation in it. So I think that every time somebody plugs in to our state party and like um does work in that environment, I think they add value, right? We all add value. So it's how much we put into it. So I think it's important, but that's how you connect with people that you align with, right? And then you grow, and irony, like iron sharpens iron. We iron each other. We get sharper when we're around each other and we have conversations with folks and we understand each other better because we have different issues like across the state. So I think it's the one way where you can understand Eastern Washington. You can get to know the folks in the north, and you can get to know the folks in like Vancouver area, right? Like it's a way where we can all just learn about what people need. So I think it's important to do that.
That's cool. That's cool that you're doing that, and I appreciate you giving me that perspective. I've heard a couple different things where people said that it worked, people said that it don't. So we'll see. That's part of some research that
Oh,
I'm doing. I was
I'm
curious.
not I'm not saying that you won't be irritated at times. Sometimes that's part of the sharpening process, right?
Okay. I see what you're putting down.
Yeah,
Can I send you a resolution that I'm working on, and maybe you can put some eyes on it for me?
absolutely.
It's for communication. It's the whole deal that I told you about, where, I felt like the big stakeholders in that one bill were getting ignored, which we were,
Yeah.
but some sort of communication structure. And I don't know if this is the right route or what, but I guess we can talk about that later. But uh,
So
yeah,
my computer is at like 7%. So I can either grab a charger really fast and we can keep talking, or
no, you're good.
but I'm
We're
down for the
getting ready to close.
resolution.
All
Let's
right.
do the resolution.
Okay. No, I'll
Send
send
it,
it to you.
send it to me. Yeah.
And for my friends that are watching, my friends that are looking at this, I appreciate you sticking around. Make sure you go and you follow Jenn Marie Strickling. If you are in the district, you're here in Washington, please support what she is doing. I support what she is doing. I'm not a normal radio station where I can't say who or what. That's why I do what I do. But I love, love, love this mission. I stand 100% behind it. And if you're a normal, everyday person, just like me, working hard, I think you should do the same. I'll see you later. Oh, and
Amazing. And thank you, Tara Simmons, for your question. You're awesome.
yeah, and I don't want the bigger lesson to be lost with this. If you see something, there's something that's like in your call, like it's a hill that you're willing to die on, freaking take the fucking hill.
Yeah.
That was great. If you enjoyed this podcast, well, I'm sure you enjoyed it. If you're still here with us, what I want you to do is head over to your favorite podcast and streaming network and give us a download, subscribe to the channel, and also let us know what you think about the show. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you for the things that you've done. Thank you for the things that you're doing. And especially thank you for the things that you're going to do, because I know that you're going to do something amazing.